Hey family, so we've all had those moments where we wake up and we feel so stagnant. Like, what should I do? You have so much on your plate that you have to do, so many things you need to get accomplished. But because there is so much, you just stop and freeze, right? You don't know how to prioritize. And if you do know how to prioritize, you're not wanting to do that right now. And you just want to chill. And sometimes in those moments, family, we get discouraged where we feel like, man, nothing is happening in my life. Nothing is working out for me. Everything that I'm doing, I'm not seeing the results I'm looking for. And I want to encourage you, family, and let you know when it feels like nothing is happening, that's when every single thing is happening behind the scenes. When it feels like nothing is happening is when every single thing is happening behind the scenes. And I know it, family, because it happened in my life. So many seasons where I felt like, man, what am I going to do? This is not working out for me, right? I invested money here in this business and I'm not seeing results. I invested time here in this relationship and I'm not seeing results. And sometimes, family, I learned that if we're working on something and it is not working, right? When we feel like we're working on something and it's not working, know that it's working. It's working because it's either working on us or it's working for us. And I realized that. Sometimes things don't happen in the time we want it to happen. It doesn't come as quickly as we want it to come. And so for me, I'm a gardener, right? So when I go outside, I plant plants in the ground. And sometimes I'm so anxious for the new growth. I'm so anxious to see, what's going, is it going to grow? Did I plant it correctly? Did I get it good soil? Am I watering it appropriately? And I watch it and I see no growth. But it's the times that I just chill, right? Trust. Walk away from it, but continue to water it, continue to do the things that I know is supposed to make the plant grow. It comes in its own time. And I say that to say, family, that everything that you're working on, everything you're working on in this season is coming to you at the right time. And it's not going to delay. It's going to come to you at the right time. So all the effort you're putting into the thing that you're working on, all the energy that you're putting forth towards someone or something, it's working for your good. And it's all going to come to you in the right season. Always, right? So many of us, we're in school or we're out of school, we're working, we want a healthy relationship, we want to build a business, whatever season we're in our lives. Trust and know that every single thing that you want wants you. And every single thing that you're working hard towards is coming to you very soon, very soon. And I know it doesn't feel like that when we feel like we're just working in vain, when we feel like we're doing the same thing over and over, when we feel like this time last year and this time next year, we're the same person. But know, trust, and believe every single thing that you want is coming your way. And you have to trust that. You have to, family, because so many of us start good, right? And we don't finish well. We start and we don't finish because what we don't realize is in order for us to get the thing that we want, to obtain that person that we want, to do the thing that we want, we, in most cases, cannot do it we cannot do it being the current version of ourselves. We can't do it being the current version of ourselves. We have to become that new and different person so that we can obtain that new and different thing for our lives. We have to work on ourselves, become a better version of ourselves, do new things in our lives to obtain new things in our lives. And a lot of us quit so quickly. We quit so easily because in our minds, it's not working. I tried it. I put a lot of time towards it. It's not working. It takes two. And everything is right. But when we argue for our limitations, we get to keep them every time. So I always say, when you're moving towards becoming a better person, and when you're moving towards doing a new thing in your life, that takes a new version of you to obtain those new things. And when it feels like nothing is happening, that's when every single thing is happening behind the scenes. Because behind the scenes, you're doing the work. You're becoming that better person. You're becoming a new version of yourself that can obtain the new thing that you want. And whether you've been in a situation where you had a breakup, whether you've been in a situation where you had a career change or a career loss, trust and know that that new version of yourself is moving towards that new thing in your life that you want. And all you have to do is to continue to do the work. What I say earlier, when I'm, looking at my plants every day, waiting for them to grow and I'm not seeing growth, I'm not going to stop watering them. So I'm going to continue to water my plants and continue to do the things that I know I need to do for my garden, in my garden, in hopes that one day I'm going to see the growth I'm looking for. because I'm not going to give up on my seed, and I'm not going to give up on the investment that I made, and I'm not going to break the promises that I made to myself that I want different and more in my life. And family, how many promises have you made to yourselves that you've broken? How many promises have you made to yourself that you were going to do something different, start something different, become a new and better person, and you have not accomplished that? So we are in a season, family, when it feels like nothing is happening. We have to understand and know that's when everything is happening behind the scenes. And you're working hard behind the scenes to become that person that you know you aspire to be. And everything in your life that you wants you, and you have to believe it. Sometimes you have to go in your mind and manifest, close your eyes and see yourself and see the life that you want for yourself and see it long enough until you believe it. You have to, family, because we can't keep living in a familiar past because we have a predictable future, because every single thing that we're doing every day is creating a new day for us. That's Groundhog Day. And we're no longer creating the same day every single day, hoping and wishing for change when we're not doing the things to create new days in our lives. So ask yourself, family, what are the seeds that I'm watering? What are the seeds that I put in the ground that I gave up on that I should continue watering? What are some of the things that I need to continue to do while I'm waiting for this growth process to work on myself and work on myself internally to become that better version of myself so that I can then attract the things that I want and own the things that I want? Family, at the end of the day, like I always say, we have to do the work because it's either working on us or it's working for us, but it's still working. We have to do the work. And just because we plant something and we're not seeing seeds right away, just because we put something in the ground and we're not seeing growth right away, does not mean it's not working. It just means it needs a little bit more time. So let's start making the investment in ourselves, the investment in our personal development, becoming new and different people so that we can have new and better, so that we can do more for ourselves, for our families, for our communities, right? For our God, for whatever it is that we have in our lives, that we have fiduciary responsibility over. Let's do better. And one of the things I do is I take a piece of paper and a pen and I write, whether they're ideas, goals, fears, I write, because that helps me to stay inspired. That helps me to move forward to a future that I cannot see, but that I have seen first in my mind, so that I can overcome this old self and become a new self. And the seeds that I planted in the ground that I feel like are not growing or is not working, I can revisit those seeds if need be. But I can trust to know that everything is working for my good and everything is happening in the time that it's supposed to. And when it feels like nothing is happening, that's when everything is happening behind the scenes, because I learned, family, that success is slow cooked. It's slow cooked. It doesn't always happen right away. And a lot of times when we see individuals, on television or people that we know in our lives, we think that it just came so easy for them, but that is not the case. Because we do not see the behind the scenes work that happens. We do not see the things that is being done behind the scenes in secret in the dark so that a person can become that version of themselves that they need to be. So I'm going to ask you again, family, what seeds have you planted? What seeds are you planting? Are you watering your seeds? And while you're waiting for that new growth, what are some of the things you're doing in the meantime? What are the things you're doing in the meantime that is allowing you to work on yourself, to become a better version of yourself? Because while you are chasing a new success, chasing this new version of self, becoming different and better, what are some of the old habits? What are some of the old ways that you're doing away with so you can accomplish some of these goals, right? So that you can grow some of these seeds that you're putting in the ground. And you may not see the growth right away, but you know that the growth is coming. What are some of the things that you're doing to put yourself in position and in a better position to obtain more, to have more, so that you can do more in your life and in the lives of others? Because when it feels like nothing is happening, that is when every single thing is happening behind the scenes. Your new growth, your new life, all the changes, everything you're wanting in your life, everything you're looking for in your life, it's all coming to you. Because at that point, you are the vortex of creation. It's all coming to you. But it cannot come to you if you are not that version of self that can receive it. It can't come to you if you're that version of yourself that can't be it. And like I said earlier, it's either working for you or it's working on you. And either way, it's working. And similar to me gardening, putting that water in the ground, putting them plants in the ground, that seed, doing all the things I needed to do, waiting for it to grow, all I can do is create the good condition and hope that it grows. So let's create these good conditions within ourselves. Let's create these good conditions for ourselves. Let's create these healthy environments for our life, right? Let's start to do the things that we know we need to do to see the change that we know we need to see in our lives. Because when it feels like nothing is happening, that's when every single thing is happening behind the scenes. It doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter what's going on around you per se. What matters is what's going on within you so that you can then affect the change and affect everything going on around you. You're planting good seed, family. You're continuing to water your seed and you're doing the things it needs to do to get you where you need to be. And understand and know that when it feels like nothing is happening, that's when every single thing is happening behind the scenes. Stay inspired.